Dr. Beth Ellen Gibbs, Music Education, escorted by Professor Joanne Rukowski. Dr. Jenna Lee Emmer, Art History, escorted by Professor Nancy Locke. College of Communications. Dr. Wara Tina Wara-Wongs, Mass Communications, escorted by Professor Colleen Connolly-Ahern. College of Earth and Mineral Sciences. Dr. Francelis A. Medina, Materials Science and Engineering, escorted by Professor Michael T. Lanigan. Dr. Yan Li, Energy and Geo-Environmental Engineering, escorted by Professor Chung Chang Song. Dr. Chad Matthew Eichfeld, Materials Science and Engineering, escorted by Professor Suzanne Moni. Dr. Masato Maitani, Materials Science and Engineering, escorted by Professor Suzanne Moni. Dr. Bryn Elizabeth Kimball, Geosciences with dual title in Biogeochemistry, escorted by Professor Susan Brantley.
Should I get it on video or take it?
Dr. Emily Jane Leo, Geosciences with dual title in Astrobiology, escorted by Professor Christopher House.
Should I get it on video?
Dr. Wendy Ray Nelson, Geosciences, escorted by Professor Tanya Furman.
I can't do that at the same time.
Dr. Patrick Joseph Applegate, Geosciences, escorted by Professor Richard B. Alley. Dr. Angela Marie Mouse-Roach, Geosciences, escorted by Professor Richard Alley. Dr. Jonathan Leonard Petters, Meteorology, escorted by Professor Jerry Y. Harrington. College of Education. Dr. Kurt R. Burkham, Higher Education, escorted by Professor Robert Hendrickson. Dr. Augustus B. Colangelo, Higher Education, escorted by Professor Robert Dean Reason. Dr. Alexander Chi-Jen Yin, Higher Education, escorted by Professor Lisa Latuka. Dr. Norifumi Miyokawa, Higher Education, escorted by Professor Lisa Latuka. Dr. Yen Chun Lin, Curriculum and Instruction, escorted by Professor Thomas Gauke. Dr. Trina Renee Hess, Adult Education, escorted by Professor Fred Sheed. Dr. Rick Leland Shearer, Adult Education, escorted by Professor Michael Graham Moore. Dr. Yu Chang Shu, Instructional Systems, escorted by Professor Peggy Van Meter and Professor Barbara Albert.